Are you a farmer or butcher ready to master direct-to-consumer marketing and meat success? Then you're in the right place. I'm Jared Aachen, the founder of ChopLocal. Each episode of this podcast features interviews with farmers and butchers who have built successful direct-to-consumer meat businesses, and they're going to share their secrets for success with you. From actionable tips to inspiring stories, this podcast has ingredients you will need to succeed in the meat business. After the show, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on social. And check out the rest of our educational resources at ChopLocalUniversity.com. Now, let's turn it over to my business partner, Katie, to get started.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Meat Success Podcast. I'm your host, Katie Olthoff, the co-founder of ChopLocal and ChopLocal University. And today I'm just going to record a quick solo episode here to tell you about a recent experience that my kids and I had at some small businesses in a town nearby us, because I think that there are some really good lessons that can come from this. First of all, let me just give you a little backstory. So 2 of my children had dentist appointments at a town nearby. We went to the appointments, we got done. It was a nice afternoon. There's a Main Street downtown area nearby the dentist office. And so we decided to go walk around a little bit to a couple of the shops. This is not something that we do super frequently. We don't often have time to do this, but sometimes there is a little bookstore. So sometimes we like to go get a book after going to the dentist, something to make it a little bit more fun. So one of my children is really interested in, both of them are really interested in crafts, and they wanted some craft supplies. And we had considered going to Hobby Lobby, but we decided to go to a small business instead to look at some of their yarn that they had. And one of the things that caught my attention about this experience is that when we got done, my child said, I know that was more expensive than Hobby Lobby, but small business owners are so nice, so friendly, and so helpful. And so I'm really glad that we shopped there. And I was like, wow, that is exactly what we hope people will say about meat directly from farmers and butchers, is that even if it is more expensive than going to the grocery store, there's something else about purchasing it directly from the farmer or butcher shop that makes it really special and makes it worth it, even if you're spending a little bit more money. So I really loved hearing that come out of my child's mouth, because it just felt really validating. And like I said, is exactly what we want people to say about small meat businesses. Okay. Here's the second part of the story that I've really been thinking about, or a second part of the experience that I've really been thinking about the last few days. In the first shop that we went to with the yarn, this is a place that has been there for a while, but we had never been to it before. But we were at the checkout, and the woman, who I believe was the owner, asked if we wanted to join the loyalty program. She explained how the loyalty program worked, how many points you had to earn in order to get a bonus, things like that. And I thought, sure, I'll join. So all I had to do was enter my phone number, and I was enrolled in the loyalty program. Now, because we've been talking a lot about gathering email addresses at the farmer's market and things like that, I was thinking in my head, she should be trying to get my email address too. But here's what happened. I joined the loyalty program, and immediately I got a text that said, you just joined this program. You earned 52 points. Earn another 10 points when you join our mailing list, which is their email list. And then there was a link to join the email list. This is all, she was using Square for her point of sale, and all these texts are coming through Square, and the link is going to a Square link. So all of this was through Square. She wasn't using any outside services for text messaging or for her email list, as far as I can tell. It was all through Square. Side note, I'm thinking that I should reach out to her and have her as a guest on the podcast. Obviously, it has nothing to do with meat, but I think it would be really interesting to hear how other small businesses kind of tackle marketing and decide how they learned about it, what they're using for their marketing that's worked really well, because maybe we can pick up some more tips in the meat industry. Okay, so anyway, I'm on the text messaging list now. I have not had any promotional texts from her, but this all happened just 3-4 business days ago, so I'm not sure how often they send them out. But I am on the loyalty program. I'm part of the loyalty program, and I did get a message inviting me to the email list. Then, as we were standing there at the checkout, we'd already checked out, and she was preparing our things, and we realized we needed a couple more things while we were in there. So we ended up placing it, or making another purchase. And again, I immediately got a text message that said you earned 13 points. I can download the Cash app to track my status, which that makes me wonder if this is through a different service instead of Square, but I'll have to dig into that further. But I also immediately got a text then that says earn another 10 points by joining our mailing list, and that does link to Square again. And so it seems like anytime I go in there again, if I'm not on the mailing list, I am going to get another text inviting me to join the mailing list. But like I said, I am now on their text messaging list and part of the loyalty program. And this is a shop that I've been in once. It's not a place that I probably will go in super frequently, but I am maybe a little bit more likely to go in there now, especially if I see text messages periodically reminding me that they exist. I can already think that that would be a great place to get my child some Christmas gifts, or birthday gifts, things like that. So, all right, then we went across the street to another small business that has some sweet treats, okay? This is one that I've been into probably a half dozen times in the last year. It's a place that one of my kids really likes to go and really likes to get treats, and it has a great atmosphere that we love. So went in there, got our treats, got to the checkout. I was kind of already thinking about marketing and point of sale devices, and so I noticed that they used Square. And I saw that there was a little sign next to the Square device that invited me to join the loyalty program. Now, like I said, I've been there probably a half dozen times this year. I don't remember seeing that in the past. That's not to say that it wasn't there. But the employee did not ask me if I wanted to join the loyalty program. And I don't believe I've been asked any of the times that I've been into that shop. And guess what? I didn't join the loyalty program. They don't have my phone number. I'm not on their text messaging list. And I have not seen an invitation to an email list or anything like that. So maybe they don't need to, because I am a repeat customer, and this is a very popular little, like I said, a treat shop that a lot of people will stop into when they're shopping at other stores downtown. But it makes me wonder, what are they missing out on by not taking these steps? And these steps specifically would be verbally asking, do you want to join the text list? Do you want to join the loyalty program? Do you want to join the email list? And then, just like the shop owner at the first shop did, explaining what are the benefits? What does the customer get out of joining those lists? We talk about offering an incentive. Obviously, a loyalty program has that built-in incentive of you're going to get some sort of a benefit when you get a certain number of loyalty points. If you are talking about a text message list or talking about an email list, a lot of times the benefit is that you're one of the first to know, or every time they're running a sale or promotion. Sometimes they send out special coupons for people on the list. We've talked a lot about lead magnets and giving somebody something in exchange for their phone number or email address. In this case of the first shop, I got more points towards my loyalty program, so I'm closer to getting that bonus. But like I said, takeaway here is that the shop that verbally asked me if I wanted to join the list, I said yes, and I did it without even thinking. The shop that had it available to me, they had it on a little, like I said, a note or a little sign at the checkout, but they did not verbally ask me, even though I'm probably more likely to earn and use loyalty points at the second store. I didn't join the program, and I don't know why. I honestly don't know why I didn't do it, but I did definitely think about it afterwards and think about the different experiences at these two stores. So, takeaway. set up these programs, set up your text messaging and or your email list, set up a loyalty program if your point of sale has that available, and then verbally ask your customers if they want to join. All right, that was just a quick 10-minute recording here by myself about something that happened in real life, shopping at small businesses in a town near me. If you would like me to get the owner of that first store on the podcast to talk to them about their marketing, let me know. I think that could kind of be interesting, but I'm curious to know. It has nothing to do with meat, but it is small business marketing. They're using a lot of the same tools that we discussed, so curious to know if you are interested in that.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Meat Success. We hope this episode gave you fresh insights and inspiration to beef up your meat marketing. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, follow us on social, and share with your fellow farmers and butchers. Have questions or ideas for future podcasts? Reach out to ChopLocalUniversity.com. Until next time, remember, there's more than one recipe for meat success.